Have you ever wondered how some people seem to achieve so much in a single day while you struggle to get things done, even with the same 24 hours? What if I told you there's a way to become so productive that it feels almost magical, like you're unlocking a secret level of achievement? This isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. Welcome to English Journey, where we help you grow personally while mastering English. I'm Celine, and I'm excited to share powerful insights that will not only boost your English skills, but also transform your life. We release new videos every day to help English learners like you improve your English and change your life. Before we dive into these amazing productivity secrets, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more valuable content for you. Stay tuned until the end for a recap of our key takeaways and a fun, short quiz to test your understanding. How to be so productive that it feels illegal. Many people look at highly productive individuals and think they must have some incredible, hidden secret. But the truth is, being incredibly productive is often much easier than it seems. It's about understanding certain principles and applying them consistently. Today, we'll explore 3 powerful productivity principles and how to supercharge them. These ideas have helped many people, including myself, achieve remarkable results. The productivity cycle, your inner engine. Imagine productivity as a continuous cycle. It starts with motivation. When you feel motivated, you want to do work. As you finish some work, you feel good. And this positive feeling, in turn, boosts your motivation to do even more work. This cycle continues. More motivation leads to more work, and more work leads to more motivation. Think about it. Why can you spend 3 weeks avoiding an essay but suddenly become a writing genius 30 minutes before it's due? It's because the approaching deadline sends your motivation sky high, making the cycle spin much faster. Distractions, tiredness, or boredom can't stop you then. This cycle also explains why to-do lists are so effective. Every time you cross something off your list, you send a clear signal to your brain. I finished something. I completed a task. This makes you feel good, and that good feeling motivates you to tackle the next task. This is why highly productive people almost always have detailed to-do lists. If you break a big task like homework into smaller individual tasks for each subject, you not only reduce confusion, but also get a boost of motivation every time you complete a small task. So, to make your productivity cycle smooth and efficient, create a detailed to-do list. What if you don't feel motivated? You can still start the cycle. Just begin working, even if it's for 1 minute. After finishing that small bit of work, you'll likely feel enough motivation to do the next task, and soon the cycle will be running at full speed. The secret is not to wait for motivation. Start working now and get motivated as you work. Students at Oxford University, for example, study at least 40 hours a week. Even on days when they lack motivation, they still wake up and study for 6-8 hours. They don't wait to feel motivated. They start with a small, manageable task, like reading 1 page, and the completion of that task fuels them to continue. Principle 1. The Pareto Principle. The 80-20 Rule. The first powerful principle is the Pareto Principle, also known as the 80-20 Rule. This rule suggests that 80% of your results or impact come from just 20% of your effort or time. This means that if you have a list of 10 things to do, 8 of them might provide only 20% of the impact, while the other 2 will give you 80% of the results. The key is to identify those crucial 20% tasks and focus your energy on them. For example, think about health. There are countless things you can do to be healthy, from detailed diets to specific exercises. But if you get the 20% right, good sleep, drinking enough water, eating reasonably well, and some light exercise, you will likely achieve 80% of the benefits. Spending too much time on the other 80% of less impactful things, like trying every supplement, won't help much if you're not getting the basics right. Applying the Pareto Principle to productivity means spending time planning and prioritizing up front. It might feel like you don't have time to plan, but remember, if planning is costly, not planning is more costly. Nothing wastes your productivity more than spending time on things that don't truly matter. Here's an interesting point. Good prioritization often feels a little uncomfortable. When you decide not to do certain tasks, even if they seem important, it can feel like you're losing something. But this is a sign that you are making difficult but smart decisions about where to invest your time to reach your goals. Remember, productivity isn't just about work. It includes self-care like taking breaks, spending time with loved ones, and getting enough sleep. These activities are crucial for sustaining your energy and preventing burnout, which is also a part of being productive in the long run. Supercharging the Pareto Principle. Pareto squared. You can take the Pareto Principle even further by applying it to itself. This is called the Pareto squared principle. If you've identified the 20% of tasks that give you 80% of the results, you can then break down those 20% tasks and find the 20% within them that yields another 80% of the impact. This means you are focusing on the most important part of the most important task. For example, if writing an essay is a major task, the most impactful part might be the planning phase. A good plan affects everything that follows. By focusing on that initial, most crucial step, you make the entire task easier, reduce procrastination, and increase your chances of success. Mathematically, this means using just 4% of your time to create 64% of the total impact. Imagine what you could achieve if you focused your efforts this way. Principle 2, the Zeigarnik Effect. Even with perfect prioritization, procrastination can still be a problem. This is where the Zeigarnik Effect comes in. The Zeigarnik Effect states that tasks are easier to complete when they are left incomplete. Our brains have a natural tendency to want to finish what we start. Think about a time you started a project you weren't excited about. Perhaps you just created a small part of it to send to your supervisor, like I did with a research project. Even though you weren't doing the main work, the very act of starting made you feel more motivated to continue. The key takeaway for using the Zeigarnik Effect is to change your win condition for curing procrastination. Your goal is not to finish the task immediately, but simply to start it and leave it in an incomplete state. This reduces the mental effort required to begin because you know you don't have to complete it right away. Starting becomes easy because there's less pressure. Supercharging the Zeigarnik Effect. Zeigarnik squared. Just like with the Pareto Principle, you can supercharge the Zeigarnik Effect by applying it to itself, the Zeigarnik squared effect. This means breaking down the act of getting started into even smaller steps. For example, if your task is sitting down to study, the sub-steps to getting started might be going to your desk, taking out your books, organizing your space, and turning on Do Not Disturb on your phone. By just starting with these tiny preparatory steps, you make it incredibly easy to begin the main task. You are essentially getting started on getting started. You can also use technology to help. For instance, if you need to plan an essay, use an AI tool to generate some initial points or structures. This gives you a running start on the task. You can also set up calendar reminders or automatic Do Not Disturb periods on your phone to make it easier to transition into work mode. Principle 3. The championship mentality. The third productivity pillar is the championship mentality. Lose the game to win the championship. This means that sometimes, to achieve your ultimate long-term goal, you might need to accept a short-term setback or lose a smaller battle along the way. Consider Toyota, the car company. In the 1950s and 60s, their cars were not reliable. To fix this, they deliberately slowed down production, losing revenue and market share. To deeply understand and improve their production process, they lost the game of immediate profit to win the championship of producing reliable cars. In our lives, we often don't know the exact path to our goals. We might just do a lot of things and hope for the best, or follow what others do. The championship mentality encourages us to be strategic. By accepting a short-term loss, we gain valuable information and data that turn unknowns into knowns. This allows us to create a much better plan and prioritize more effectively using the Pareto Principle. For example, if you want to get into a specific university program and have an exam coming up, but your study skills are disorganized, focusing solely on acing that one exam might not be the best long-term strategy. Instead, it might be better to spend some time improving your learning skills and experimenting with different study methods, even if it means not doing perfectly on that immediate exam. This investment in learning how to learn will help you crush it in future exams and ultimately win the championship of your long-term goal. So, figure out what your championship truly is. Is it just the next test or something bigger? Then, understand the consequences of losing the game. What are you giving up by focusing only on the short-term win? Supercharging the championship mentality, embrace action and experimentation. People often passively wait for time to pass, assuming they will naturally gain certainty or solve problems. But time alone changes nothing. It's what you do in that time that matters. Instead of waiting, take action and experiment actively. Don't wait 2 months to fail an exam to realize a mistake in your study method. Instead, try an experiment today. Test yourself tomorrow to see the effect, and then adjust daily. By taking continuous action and experimenting, you gain information and certainty much faster than others. This allows you to develop a winning strategy earlier. If you don't make time to learn how to succeed, that time will be created for you later, often through failure. So, be active, do the things that others are not doing, and make time to learn what others are not learning. Dealing with productivity. Killers: tiredness, confusion, boredom, anxiety, and distractions. Even with these principles, certain factors can make your productivity cycle less efficient. These include tiredness, confusion, boredom, anxiety, and distractions. But the good news is you can manage them. One simple way to tackle many of these at once is to take a break and go for a walk, especially outdoors. A walk can boost your energy, help you organize your thoughts, calm anxiety, and allow your mind to wander now so it's less prone to distractions later. Here's how to deal with each specific problem. Tiredness and boredom. Sometimes, a quick fix is simply changing your work location. Even just facing a different direction can refresh your mind. You can work from unusual places, and while people might look at you strangely, it can be fun and effective. Also, embrace boredom. Our minds are often overstimulated, constantly seeking new information and distractions. This craving for stimulation, fueled by dopamine, hits from social media, and emails, actually makes it harder to focus. To improve focus, you need to lower your stimulation levels. Deliberately seeking boredom, like reading the iTunes terms and conditions or counting zeros in pi, don't worry, you don't have to do that, can expand your attention span and lead to more creative ideas. When your mind is less stimulated, it doesn't seek distractions as much. This scatter focus allows your mind to wander and come up with new ideas and plans, especially about the future. So, make time for simple activities that don't demand full attention, like knitting or taking a long shower, to let your mind wander freely. Confusion. If you're confused, a walk can help you collect your thoughts. Also, breaking down large tasks into smaller, manageable steps, as in the Pareto squared and Zeigarnik squared principles, can significantly reduce confusion about what to do next. Anxiety. To deal with anxiety, ask yourself a series of questions. For example, if you're anxious about a biology test, ask, why am I anxious? Because I might fail. Is this reasonable? No, studying always helps. Will this matter in the long run? No, 2 hours of studying now is not much time in the long run. What can I control? I can study. This helps you to gain perspective and focus on what you can actually do. Distractions. Many experts agree that distractions are the enemy of deep, productive work. The best way to deal with your phone, the biggest distractor, is to put it on silent and put it in another room or hide it somewhere. This is far more effective than just turning off notifications. Make your phone less attractive by turning on grayscale mode, or even set up a shortcut so it automatically turns on when you arrive home. Poor sleep and stress. Constant stress and lack of sleep hinder productivity. Many believe stress helps performance, but it actually harms both mind and body. Prioritizing rest and managing stress are crucial for optimal performance. You can implement add things together where you combine a daily routine task with something you want to get done, such as reading a book while taking the train. Not starting with the hardest task. Instead of only checking off easy tasks, focus on the most important one that needs to get done. Doing the toughest thing first in the morning makes it harder to procrastinate later in the day. This is often called eating that frog. Lack of urgency. Set fake deadlines for yourself. If you have 3 weeks to do something, it often takes 3 weeks. But if you give yourself 3 days, you can often finish it in 3 days. This creates a sense of urgency. Other effective productivity hacks. The candle hack. Light a candle only when you are productive. If you check your phone or go on social media, blow it out. You can also set fake deadlines, like burning out the candle by next week, to motivate yourself to complete tasks. Paint by numbers. Reward system. Find a paint by numbers drawing, or draw one yourself. Hang it where you'll see it daily. Only color in a section after you finish a task you've been avoiding. This is a fun way to track progress and visualize your achievements. Leave your phone in the locker at the gym. We all know how much time we waste on our phones. If you take breaks at the gym, leave your phone in the locker to avoid mindless scrolling. Mindful eating. Instead of being on your phone while eating, focus on your meal. This helps you stay present. Batch. Similar tasks. Do all your laundry in one day instead of spreading it out. Similarly, meal prep for several days at once instead of cooking every day. Bathroom and bed without phone. Avoid taking your phone to the bathroom or bed. This creates healthier boundaries for technology use. Understand the value of time. You cannot buy time. We often don't realize how quickly time passes, especially when we feel like we have plenty of it. Recognize that life is short and don't waste time. Someone with only 2 hours a day to work on goals can achieve as much as someone with 10 hours, depending on how effectively they use their time. Recap takeaways. Productivity is a cycle. Motivation leads to work, which leads to feeling good, which boosts motivation. You can start the cycle with even 1 minute of work. Pareto Principle, 80-20 rule. Focus on the 20% of tasks that give you 80% of the results. Use Pareto squared to find the 20% of the 20% for maximum impact. Zeigarnik Effect. To beat procrastination, focus on starting a task and leaving it incomplete. Use Zeigarnik squared to break down getting started into tiny, easy steps. Championship mentality. Be willing to lose the game. Accept short-term setbacks. To win the championship, achieve long-term goals. Take active steps and experiment to gain certainty faster. Manage productivity. Killers tackle tiredness, confusion, boredom, anxiety, and distractions with strategies like walks, changing locations, asking clarifying questions, and disconnecting from your phone. Embrace boredom. Lowering your overall stimulation can increase your attention span and lead to more creative ideas. Implement practical hacks. Use techniques like the candle hack, paint by numbers rewards, batching tasks, and mindful technology use. If you found these insights valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to English Journey for more content that helps you grow and improve your English. Quiz time. Now let's test your understanding with a quick quiz based on what we've learned. Question 1. What is the core idea of the productivity cycle? How does motivation connect to finishing work? Question 2. Explain the Pareto Principle, 80-20 rule, in your own words. How can you apply it to your studies or work? Question 3. What does the Zeigarnik Effect suggest about starting to tasks? How can it help you overcome procrastination? Question 4. Describe the championship mentality. Why might losing the game sometimes be a good strategy? Question 5. Name 2 ways you can deal with distractions, especially your phone. Question 6. How can embracing boredom actually help your focus and creativity? Share your answers in the comments below. I'd love to read your thoughts and see how much you've learned. Conclusion. Remember, becoming incredibly productive isn't about magic. It's about applying proven principles and making small, consistent changes. By understanding the productivity cycle, using the Pareto and Zeigarnik effects, Adopting a championship mentality and actively managing common challenges, you can unlock an illegal level of productivity. Keep practicing your English, keep learning, and keep growing. You've got this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.